So I've written something today. I've written something today because I didn't want to get slightly muddled over my thoughts and spirit thoughts. And I've been thinking a lot about what's been going on in the world today. And I've been thinking about how it also relates to the 7 principles of spiritualism. So my talk today will begin with Emma Harding Britten. She was born in London in 1823. She was the daughter of a seafaring man. She worked very hard to provide for the household. She taught and gave piano lessons. She was always very aware of spirit and began to explore spiritualism, traveling and attending seances and groups in different parts of the world. She worked extremely hard and gained a reputation as an extremely good psychic and medium. While at a seance with others in 1871, she was given 10 directives from spirit, and these were later discussed and reduced to the 7 principles, which are still used by most spiritualists today. They are the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man, the communion of spirits and the ministry of angels, the continuous existence of the human soul, personal responsibility, compensation and retribution for all the good and evil deeds done on earth, eternal progress open to every human soul. So these 7 principles help one to realize that spiritualism is not simply a spoken word, it's a way of life. Spiritualism provides proof that when we leave this mortal coil, through the change called death, we shed our physical body. Our vibrational energy changes form and force, becoming lighter and finer, and we move on into the spirit realm. We are still us. We retain our unique personality and character, just as we did on earth. There are many in the spirit realm who guide us. They may provide healing, teaching, and encouragement, and they are always ready and willing to lend a hand if we need one here on earth. And so with the chaos taking place around the world today, each one of us needs to take personal responsibility to work towards a common goal of the brotherhood of man. More than ever, our world needs our help, kindness, understanding, and love in the broadest sense of the word. And each one of us can make a difference by our thoughts, prayers, and actions. Thought is living vibrational energy. So if we keep our thoughts positive and compassionate as possible, the current circumstances that we're trying to cope with will be much easier. Prayer is like a cry for help. It may be simple or complex. Some say prayer is divided into 2 categories, those that say please and those that say thank you. And there are others that say there are many different types of prayer. Prayer for petition, seeking divine aid. Adoration, praise for the love of God. Intercession, praying on behalf of other people. Meditation and contemplation, silence in the presence of God. Thanksgiving, gratitude for all our blessings. Consecration, surrendering one's life to the will and service to God. As individuals, we all have freedom of choice, free will to choose our own style of prayer. And when we speak from the heart, prayer can achieve so much. We may connect to the spirit realm by thought, meditation, or prayer. And if you think of our thoughts like information or request zinging along an invisible telephone line, where at the other end there are dedicated spirit beings waiting to assist. An answer to your prayer may be received in a way you were not expecting. Help may come from a stranger, or a thought that pops into your mind, or you may dream an answer in a dream. Your prayer will always be answered. You must have faith and await the divine timing. We are also responsible for our own actions, to assist where we can, and at this particular time, to choose love over fear. When we choose love over fear, we may begin to understand how we differ from each other and the unique qualities that we have. We become more tolerant, understanding. No matter if we are different from each other, we are all part of the brotherhood of man. And by the actions we take, we can provide hope to those in need. A quote from Paul Ferrini in a book titled Tranquil Moments. The choice between love and fear is made every moment in our hearts and minds. That is where the peace process begins. Without peace, our world is an empty wish. Like love, peace cannot be brought from the world to our hearts. It must be brought from one heart to another, and thus to all mankind. End of quote. And a story that some of you may have heard is the story of the 4 candles. It's taken from the internet. Within a room, 4 candles slowly burned. The ambience was so soft, one could almost hear them talking. The first candle said, "I am peace. The world is full of anger and fighting. Nobody can keep me lit." And the flame of peace went out completely. The second candle said, "I am faith, but I am no longer indispensable." And just then, a gentle breeze softly blew out faith's flame. The third candle began to speak. "I am love, but people don't understand my importance, so they simply push me aside. They even forget to love those nearest to them. And waiting no longer, love's flame went out." A child entered the room and saw the 3 unlit candles. The child asked the candles, "Why aren't you burning? You are supposed to stay lit." And while saying this, the child began to cry. The 4th candle answered, "Don't be afraid. I am hope. And while I am still burning, we can relight the other candles." With shining eyes, the child took the candle of hope and lit the others. The greatest of these is love, but the flame of hope should never go out of anyone's life. Where there is life, there is hope. There is also, through love, the opportunity to uplift each other, to pray, to assist and heal, and to work together towards the brotherhood of man. And thank you all for listening today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. That was really good.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. Yeah, it was really good.
We did too.
And yeah, Emma Harding Britton's quite an amazing person because she first involved herself in America in spiritualism, although she was English. In 1854, she was found as the choir mistress of one of the first of the big American movements, spiritualist movements, the Society for the Diffusion of Spiritualist Knowledge. And she was the choir mistress. And Kate Fox was a medium working there. At the time, Maggie Fox had stopped being a medium because that was her deal with her husband-to-be. Kane, the explorer, who didn't want her involving herself in mediumship, and Leah Fox was just a speaker. So from that early stage, she was involved, and of course she was a committee member of the Theosophical Society when it was founded. But she stormed away from that because she didn't agree with the concepts of theosophy, the spirit we talk to just being an astral remnant. So fascinating. She was also heavily involved in the Rosicrucians. She's seen as a hero of them. So fascinating person, and the principles are simple, but they're not easy to follow all the time. But one of the great things is we don't have to.
No.
We're not expected to be other than human. We're not superhuman. But thank you. Really good. Thanks. So
glad you enjoyed it. Thank you.